Do you know what I absolutely hate about what I just heard from Frank Reich? That quote that just came out of the commercial break. I'm in the position I'm in because of, then he goes on to say, years of success as a play caller. I don't know the exact words.
The offensive coordinator, play caller, blah, blah, blah.
I'm in the position I'm in because You're in the position you're in because players, because assistant coaches, because the success you had as a team, because you trusted others to help you. You're in the position you're in because you were Boomer Esiason's roommate in college. You're the position. Not saying it's not also you. You to a certain extent, we all control our own destiny, but also, you're in the position you're in because the Patriots fell for the Philly special. Like, Frank Reich is sounding very un-Frank Reich-like. And I think it's because he is terrified to make a mistake. And that is a very, very, very bad way to run a football team. Terrified to make a mistake is a very, very bad way to do almost anything. Outside of like lifeguard, right? Pilot. There are certain, there's a great Chris Rock stand-up where he says, certain professions can't have bad apples, right? Like, you can't have a bad apple pilot, right? That's a problem. So in certain professions, yes, you terrified to make a mistake works. In football and leading a football team, you are going to make mistakes. The best of the best are going to make a mistake. You cannot live in fear of it. You also cannot be defensive. I'm good at this. I did this. I did that. Okay, fine. Unfortunately, none of that matters. He's being too precious with each decision. I'm the play caller. You're the play caller. I'm the play caller. Waffling on his decisions. Thomas Brown spoke to the media. He's the offensive coordinator of the Panthers, and he was the play caller up until Frank Reich took it back away from him. So he wasn't the play caller. Frank Reich named him the play caller. Frank Reich gave Thomas Brown a game ball for how good of a play caller he was, and then 3 games later, Frank Reich took away play calling and gave it back to Frank Reich. Here's Thomas Brown on when he found out about the most recent change.
Officially, I would say Sunday night, that was confirmed, but I pretty had a good idea just based on some other conversations post the game and even other weeks that could be a possibility. I'm not going to say that it's something that I necessarily saw coming. Also not going to say that I'm necessarily surprised by it. But we live in a production business, a results-driven business, and every decision is supposed to be focused on trying to find ways to help the football team win. So he made the decision to give me an opportunity to be a play caller. He also made the decision to also take it back to having him be the play caller. So I have nothing else to do but other than respect that decision and continue to do a really good job of moving forward of helping our football team and our players be in the best spot. That's my overall goal, my responsibility, regardless of feelings and emotions.
And now Thomas Brown is left up there flapping in the breeze, right? How is he supposed to answer any of those questions? I found out Sunday. I was completely surprised, but I expected it. But also, I'm going to support the team, but back and forth. A coach like Thomas Brown, a coach like Frank Reich, a coach like any coach in the league needs to be empowered. That's the only way you find success, empowering your coaches. What I mean by that is you want the coaches, you want any coach, to at any point in time make the decision that they think is best. Not the one that is most likely to please their boss. Not the one that is most likely to keep their job. Not the one you want to make a decision that is best for the team. Right now, it feels like Frank Reich is making decisions to save his job, to please David Tepper. No. A coach needs to be empowered. It's your team. Your show. You're running the show. And you may say, well, he's taking the play calling back. That's not what I mean. What I mean by saying it's your show, run it, is you gave it to Thomas Brown. Trust yourself. So many of these problems, so many of the problems within the Carolina Panthers, the more you're around it, right? The more you follow the Hansel and Gretel crumbs, the more you look for clues, lead to David Tepper. He's the owner. He's the person that everyone seems to be working to please.
He pulls the strings.
And even if he's not actively pulling strings, everyone is making decisions based on, I hope this doesn't get my string cut. Right? It's he hangs over every decision. David Tepper, again, this is connecting dots and inferring, but there's a lot of clues. The other day, a bunch of my nieces and nephews were over in our backyard. They were all playing, doing the make-believe thing. And one of our neighbors at some point in time, I guess, had a picnic back there. We kind of share a backyard. And they just left a red sheet. So there's just a red sheet that had been rained on and everything. And they found it. And I was like, oh, no, give that to me. Do you know what they ended up turning the whole day into? Little Red Riding Hood was kidnapped. And they had to find clues on where she went.
Oh.
And I'll tell you right now, everything was a clue. They found an acorn, clue, put it in the bucket. They found a piece of trash, clue. They found a stick, clue. I feel like that when we're watching. It's like you're watching the Panthers, and it's like they run the ball 3 straight plays. Clue. This means that the play caller is doing this, right? They cut a guard, and then they all watch the offensive line. Clue. This means they're unhappy. We're like the 6-year-olds that were running around in the back of my my backyard looking for clues of where Red Riding Hood ended up.
Where's the wolf?
And David Tepper would be the wolf.
He is.
David Tepper has made Frank Reich believe that the next mistake may be his last.